Do you ever feel like you are missing something crucial when interacting with women? Now, you're not alone. 99% of men find this particular body language from women baffling. Today, I'm shedding light on why these signals are so hard to interpret and teaching you the skills to read them like a pro. But before we start, I would really appreciate it if you support us by hitting the like button. Thank you very much. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Using prolonged pauses. All right, let's talk about the power of silence. You know those moments when she suddenly goes quiet mid-conversation. It's not because she's run out of things to say or lost interest. In fact, it might be quite the opposite. When a woman uses prolonged pauses in conversation, she's often creating space for something deeper. It's like she's laying out an invisible bridge, inviting you to cross it with her. These pauses are opportunities for you to show that you are truly engaged and attuned to her. But here's the concerning part. Most men miss this sign entirely. They rush to fill the silence, thinking it's awkward or that they need to keep the conversation flowing. In reality, she might be giving you a chance to ask a more profound question, share your own thoughts, or simply sit in comfortable silence together. These pauses can also be her way of processing what's been said, especially if the conversation is emotionally charged or intellectually stimulating. By allowing the pauses, she's showing that she values depth over surface-level chatter. So, the next time you notice her taking a beat before responding, resist the urge to jump in. Instead, lean into that silence, make eye contact, and show her you are present and receptive. You might just find that these moments of quiet lead to your most meaningful connections. Number 2. Checking her reflection. Ever catch her sneaking a quick glance at her reflection in a window or her phone screen? No, she's not being vain. She's sending you a silent signal that she cares about how she looks in your presence. This swift mirror check is like a secret mission. She's making sure she's putting her best face forward, quite literally. It's her way of saying, "I want to look good for you," without actually saying those words. But here's the thing most men miss. It's not just about vanity. This quick reflection check often comes with a side of nervousness or excitement. She might adjust her hair, check her teeth for food, or smooth out her clothes. These little adjustments are signs that she's invested in the impression she's making on you. Now, don't call her out on it. That's not the point. Instead, take it as a compliment. She's making an effort, and that effort is for you. It's a subtle but clear indication that you matter to her. So, the next time you notice her discreetly eyeing her reflection, don't brush it off. It's not just about looking good. It's about feeling confident and attractive in your presence. And in the language of nonverbal cues, that's a pretty big compliment. Number 3. Micro-expressions. All right, gentlemen, it's time to channel your inner lie detector. We're talking about micro-expressions, those lightning-fast facial movements that reveal a person's true emotions before they have a chance to hide them. Blink and you might miss them, but catch them, and you've got a window into her real feelings. These fleeting expressions typically last for less than a second. Maybe it's a flash of surprise when you say something unexpected, a quick grimace of discomfort before she smiles politely, or a momentary look of joy before she composes herself. Most men completely miss these subtle cues. They are focused on the words being said or the overall expression, not realizing that the real truth often lies in these split-second revelations. Learning to spot these micro-expressions can give you valuable insights into her true feelings. Is she really okay with your suggestion, or did you catch a flash of disappointment? Did your compliment genuinely please her, or was there a hint of discomfort? But remember, this isn't about catching her out or exposing her. It's about understanding her better and responding more empathetically. If you notice a micro-expression that contradicts her words, consider gently adjusting your approach. So, next time you are chatting with her, try to tune into these fleeting facial movements. You might just discover a whole new layer of communication you've been missing out on all along. Just don't stare too intensely. We're going for observant, not creepy. Number 4. Adjusting her seating position. Let's talk about the dance of the chair, gents. You know how she sometimes shifts in her seat or adjusts her position when you are talking? It's not just about finding a comfy seat. It's a nonverbal cue that speaks volumes. When a woman adjusts her seating position around you, she's often trying to achieve one of two things: getting closer to you or finding a stance that makes her feel more confident and comfortable in your presence. If she's moving closer, leaning in, or angling her body towards you, that's a pretty clear sign she's interested and engaged. She's literally trying to close the physical gap between the two of you. On the flip side, if she's repositioning to sit up straighter or to face you more directly, she might be trying to present herself in a more confident light. It's her way of saying, "Hey, I want you to see me at my best." But here's what most men miss. Even if she's moving slightly away, it's not necessarily a bad sign. She might be creating space to invite you into her personal bubble or adjusting to a position where she can make better eye contact. The key is to pay attention to these movements in context. Is she also smiling and maintaining eye contact? That's a good sign. Is she crossing her arms and turning away? Maybe not so much. So, next time you are sitting across from her and notice a bit of seat shuffling, don't just ignore it. It's her body's way of communicating, and it might just be saying, "I'm interested in getting closer to you." Just remember, noticing is fine, commenting on it might make her self-conscious. Play it cool, gentlemen. Are you finding these tips helpful? Show your support with a like and share your thoughts below. Number 5. Light touches on the arm or back. You know those moments when she lightly brushes your arm during conversation or gives you a quick pat on the back. These aren't just random acts of physical contact, they are loaded with meaning. When a woman initiates these light touches, she's crossing a physical boundary in a very deliberate way. It's her non-verbal way of saying, "I feel comfortable with you," or even, "I'm attracted to you." These touches create a sense of intimacy and connection that goes beyond words. But here's what most men miss: the intention behind the touch. A light touch on the arm while laughing at your joke, that's her way of emphasizing the connection that you share. A brief touch on the back as she passes by, she's acknowledging your presence in a personal way. The key is to pay attention to the frequency and context of these touches. Are they happening more often? Do they linger a bit longer each time? That's a pretty clear escalation of interest. Now, don't go overanalyzing every single touch. Some people are just naturally more tactile. But if you notice an increase in these light, seemingly casual touches, especially if they are accompanied by other signs of interest, you might be onto something. Remember, though, reciprocation is key. If you're interested too, you can respond with similar light touches. Just be respectful and mindful of her comfort level. So, the next time you feel that light touch on your arm or back, don't just brush it off. It might just be her way of reaching out and saying, "Hey, I like you," without uttering a word. In the language of body language, that's pretty much shouting from the rooftops. Number 6. Sudden stillness. Picture this. You walk into a room, and suddenly, she goes still like a deer caught in headlights. No, you haven't suddenly turned into Medusa. This moment of sudden stillness is actually a huge tell that she's acutely aware of your presence and possibly pretty into you. When a woman freezes momentarily as you approach, it's often because your arrival has triggered a rush of emotions or nerves. It's like her brain is doing a quick reboot, processing the fact that you're there and figuring out how to react. Here's what most men miss. This stillness is often followed by a flurry of small adjustments. She might quickly fix her hair, straighten her posture, or take a deep breath before acknowledging you. These are all signs that she wants to present her best self to you. This reaction is deeply rooted in our biology. When we are confronted with someone we are attracted to, our body can momentarily go into a mild fight or flight response, and the result? A brief moment of paralysis before we snap back into action. Now, don't confuse this with discomfort or fear. If she quickly recovers and engages you warmly, that initial freeze was likely a positive sign. It means you have an effect on her, one strong enough to literally stop her in her tracks. So, the next time you notice her go still for a split second when you enter her space, take it as a compliment. You've made an impact. Just remember to play it cool. Acknowledging or commenting on her reaction might make her self-conscious. Instead, use it as a cue to engage with her warmly and help her feel at ease. After all, you've already made quite an entrance. Number 7. Slightly quivering voice. All right, let's tune into the subtle symphony of her voice, gents. You know that slight tremor or quiver you sometimes hear when she's speaking to you? It's not because she's cold or coming down with something. This vocal quirk is actually a powerful indicator of her emotional state, and it might just be because of you. When a woman's voice slightly quivers while talking to you, it's often a sign of heightened emotion. This could be nervousness, excitement, or attraction. It's like her voice is betraying the cool, calm exterior she's trying to maintain. This isn't a bad thing. That little shake in her voice means you are having an effect on her. You are not just another person she's talking to. You are someone who makes her feel something strong enough to affect her physically. Here's a pro tip. If you notice this quiver, don't point it out. Instead, try to put her at ease, maintain a calm, warm demeanor. This can help her relax and feel more comfortable expressing herself. So, the next time you are in conversation and you hear that slight tremor in her voice, pay attention. It might just be her body's way of saying, "You make me nervous in a good way." Just remember, it's not about exploiting her nervousness, but about understanding and responding to her emotions with empathy and care. After all, true connection is about more than just words. It's about tuning into all the subtle cues that make up human interaction. So now that you know how to spot those signs, if you enjoyed this video, please like and comment your thoughts below. Watch the recommended video on the screen. Thanks for watching.